Today's lesson is a review of graphing linear functions, and the three equations that we use for linear functions is slope-intercept, which is y equals mx plus b, and probably the one you're most familiar with. Standard form is ax plus by equals c, and point slope form, y minus y sub 1 is equal to m times x minus x1. And all three of those are useful in different contexts. So we're going to start with example 1. We have y equals negative 2x plus 1. And you should notice that that equation is in slope-intercept form. So we can write this as y equals mx plus b. And sometimes that helps you to identify the key features of that equation. So in this, we know then that our m is negative 2, so our slope is negative 2, and our b, which b stands for the y-intercept, is positive 1. Those are the key features that we need to be able to graph our equation. We're going to start by graphing the y-intercept. So on the y-axis, you put a point on 1. Then from there, you're going to use the slope. And if you remember that slope is rise over run. So as a fraction, negative 2, you could write it as negative 2 over 1. And that gives us how many units we rise and how many units we run. So with the rise being negative 2, you would go down 2, and then you would run 1, positive 1, so right 1. And that's where you're going to put your next point. And you're going to continue doing that. You can go down 2, right 1, and that's where you put a point. Down 2, right 1, put a point. And then you can do as many points as you would like. The more points you have, usually the more accurate your line is, and then you can sketch your line. And remember that a line continues on in both directions infinitely. And then we're going to put our arrows on the ends to show that that line continues in both directions. So that's how you're going to graph a line in slope-intercept form. The second example is 3x minus 5y is equal to 15. That equation is in standard form. It's in ax plus by equals c. Now, you could manipulate the equation and solve for y to get it in y equals mx plus b form. Or you can leave it in standard form and find your x and y intercepts. So in order to find x and y intercepts when your equation is in standard form, you're going to plug in zeros. So we have our equation 3x minus 5y is equal to 15. If I want to find the y-intercept, I'm going to let x equals 0. So what that means is we're going to plug in a 0 for the x. And then we're going to solve the equation. So 3 times 0 is 0. 0 minus 5y is just negative 5y is equal to 15. Then to get the y by itself, you're going to divide both sides by negative 5. And you get that y is equal to negative 3. So I know that that point, my y-intercept is 0, negative 3. Then I can do the same thing and find the x-intercept. To find the x-intercept, you're going to let y equals 0. So in the equation, you would have 3x minus 5 times 0 is equal to 15. So 5 times 0 is 0, and you get 3x is equal to 15. We're going to divide both sides by 3, so x is equal to 5. So my x-intercept is 5, 0. Remember, your ordered pairs go in the order x comma y. Now we can plot both of those points on our graph. So 0, -3 is on the y-axis, 3 units down. 5, 0 is on the x-axis, 5 units over. And then we can draw a line between our 2 points, extending in both directions. And then put your arrows on the ends, showing it goes infinitely in both directions. And there is our line for 3x minus 5y is equal to 15.